You're watching 48 FastCast.
Good Monday afternoon, everyone. I'm Liz Hurley with this 48 FastCast, our digital version of your top headlines and a short fast newscast. We start today in Colbert County, where the body of the second man killed in a boating accident on the Tennessee River was recovered this morning. Sheriff Eric Ballantyne says two men identified as William Sandlin and Edison Wallace were killed when their boat collided with a barge Saturday night on Pickwick Lake. One of those men was found dead near the boat at the time of the accident. The other was discovered in a slough earlier today. As of now, the cause of the crash remains under investigation. Our Aria Pons is at the scene. She'll provide us updates today in our 4 o'clock newscast. And we have new details regarding a fatal wreck last night in Huntsville that started as a police chase in Lincoln County, Tennessee. The Huntsville Police Department says that authorities in Lincoln County tried to stop Austin Gore for reckless driving. That pursuit made its way south on Highway 231, crossing into Madison County. Police say Gore lost control of his car near the Maston Lake Road construction zone. He ran off the road and then struck a pole. Gore, who was the only person inside that car, was pronounced dead at the scene. This crash remains under investigation. And a Huntsville man accused of stabbing his brother to death was denied bond today. Deshaun Garner is facing murder charges after police say he fatally stabbed his brother Philip Garner on Battlefield Drive. Court records show a second victim, identified as Garner's sister-in-law, was injured when she tried to intervene. Not much is said right now about a possible motive as to why Garner stabbed his brother. He remains in the Madison County Jail.
Oh, it's a hot one. Temperatures near 100 degrees, but the drier air is actually mixed down from the upper levels, mid levels of the atmosphere, and that's helped things out, but it still feels like 104 in many areas. Heat advisory will continue through tomorrow evening. Pretty much typical summer weather, though, as we get into August. We do have what we call a false fall on the way in about a week. We'll talk more about that on the 10-day forecast. It is 100 right now in Athens, 97 in Muscle Shoals, but again, it feels a little bit hotter than that in most areas, anywhere from 100 to 105, maybe 106. So make sure you're staying hydrated. Rain chances are low. We got a couple of showers out there right now, one in particular in Jackson County. We'll take a closer look at that in just a few minutes. 3-day forecast looks pretty typical this time of year. We're going to get more showers and thunderstorms, and that's going to push temperatures back into the lower 90s by Thursday. But we've got back-to-back cold fronts to talk about as we enter next week. That's on your 10-day forecast coming up.
Thank you, Brad. Instagram under fire following the release of a new feature, with many saying it's an invasion of privacy. Find out why after the break. A popular social media app is receiving backlash today after introducing a new feature which is causing concern about user safety. Instagram released a feature that allows users to share their location through the app on a map to their followers. Leaders say it is a way to stay up to date with friends, but others say it's an invasion of privacy. Mark Sachs with the Center for Internet Security says it tracks your phone down to the exact location inside a building. He says it's important to know the facts before turning on this setting.
You got to really think about this, and particularly with your kids, because children will go in, and teenagers and others, they'll play around with things. They'll turn stuff on, turn things off. They're naturally curious, and they may accidentally turn on location tracking on their phone. And within Instagram and Facebook and others, to be fair, it's not just Instagram. So parents need to be aware of this and take a close look at what their kids are doing.
To make sure the feature is off, click on the map icon in your message feed. That's where you can make the decision to turn the location sharing feature on or off.
Now, your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis.
Good afternoon again, everyone. A couple of those showers, some very brief heavy downpours over DeKalb and parts of Jackson County, south of Albertville. This is going to play out over the next several hours. We'll continue to see the best chance in northeast Alabama. Now, tomorrow, I think we'll have a little bit more activity, but showers will fade again tonight. More humidity coming back, so the humidity actually dropped a bit this afternoon. That's what allowed temperatures to get close to 100 degrees, but the heat index, what it feels like, still around 104 to 106. We've got that heat advisory. That's usually issued when the Weather Service expects the heat advisory to heat index to be 105 to about 110. So far, we haven't reached the upper echelon of that, but it's hot. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Not much else going on. We kind of got a lull in the thunderstorm activity that we've seen the last few days, but that'll start coming back, especially as we get into Friday and Saturday. We got Hurricane Erin continues to churn just off to the east of the Turks and Caicos, and the map catches up here. A very formidable storm, thankfully well offshore, but they're still going to see a lot of impact here all along the East Coast with the high rip currents and the high surf and the coastal flooding. So again, here's the latest track from the Hurricane Center. It will update again at 4 o'clock. We'll have the latest advisory on it, but it is going to pass pretty much between Bermuda and the Carolinas with very little impact, but there is an issue out there, especially on the East Coast with the heavy surf and the flooding. We'll fast forward tomorrow at noon, pretty much what we've seen today, just an isolated shower or storm. Best chance during the late afternoon, early evening hours here from Scottsboro down to Albertville, and then that'll fade away, and then guess what? We do it all over again Wednesday. I think each and every passing day we see a little bit more coverage of showers, afternoon thunderstorms, and that'll increase the humidity, but it'll actually push the high temperatures back into the low to mid 90s instead of close to 100. Here's your 10-day forecast. Notice the latter half of it. As we get beyond a week from today, we've got a cold front coming in, and it's going to cool us off. It's going to feel more like fall, but it's kind of false fall. But hey, we're getting to that time of year where we're going to start seeing more significant cold fronts making an impact on our weather.
That'll do it for our FastCast today. Don't forget to join us online in a few minutes with Before the 4 with AJ Wiest. Then tune in for our 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 and 10 o'clock newscast here on WAFF on TV as we share top stories across the valley. Thanks for watching this Monday afternoon. We'll see you in a few.